Okay, so hi guys. I decided to make a video real quick, just kind of cataloging my adventure with succulents over the last basically the last year. So this is my healthy, well, with the exception of this fella, he's got to go. This guy's getting transplanted in a little bit to a pot by himself because he's in need of it. Some of these are fresh transplants. This guy I transplanted yesterday, and they've been outside since last night, just to get some natural sunlight and to avoid shocking them. Some of them still need to be transplanted. I just transplanted this guy into here. He was in a teeny tiny pot from like Home Depot for 99 cents because he's, like, as you can see, not doing that great. And we've got high hopes for him though. So my adventure with succulents started about a year ago, and I'm going to show you all of that. So it started when my friend Mercedes, shout out Mercedes, hey girl, gave me this guy right here. See, a year ago in like May. So she gave me this guy who is about 2 years old now. A year with her, a year with me. She started it, I think she actually got it as a teeny tiny baby just from a regular store, like Home Depot or Lowe's, whatever. And it was in a little teeny tiny starter pot like you get, and she loved it and cared for it for a year and then gave it to me, and thus started my adventure with succulents. So this obviously is a baby coming off of this mama. She gave me this one, and then she's given me tons over time, but like this was the first one. From this one we got this guy that sprouted off last summer. I made a cutting, and putting them outside, like literally hen and chicks grow super fast. Succulents are known to be kind of slow and gummy with what they do, but hen and chicks, I don't know if you can get a good see these guys, but this one over a year. And like, oh, okay, so good segue. This leaf just broke off, which happens. Don't panic, it happens. Oh, actually there's a couple because they were out. Oh guys, so all right, so check this out. Actually, this is a great segue. These leaves, I'm gonna set these aside upstairs in my little propagation tray. I'm gonna put these down here with their brother that just fell off, but obviously this has been sitting here for a minute. Oh, there's a few in there that are broken off. Actually, I'm gonna collect those in a sec, but this one has been sitting long enough that it started to propagate itself. No roots yet, as you can see. Hold on, let me get this to focus. Will it focus? Here, this is why people put their hand behind stuff, right? Like, see? Okay. So this little leaf has started to grow its own baby. And so obviously the end calloused on its own. And that's really frustrating. But here, I can't get it to focus. There we go. So see this is just a leaf. I would have chose to pluck a bigger leaf, obviously, but nature does what nature does, and this little baby has sprouted a whole new one. So I'm going to put this in my propagation tray also, but in a different section because obviously it's already calloused and ready to go. I'm actually going to dig these guys out of here too, without hurting anybody. Come here, guys. So 1, 2, buckle my shoe. Oh God, and then another one. I got it. Okay. So, we just had a rainstorm, and hold on one sec. I'm going to set you guys down and get these out of here. 1 second. Okay, so that may seem like a lot of leaves to come off a single plant. They fall off naturally sometimes just from being bumped. They are super resilient plants, but they're also very fragile. So it's kind of like a 6-to-1, half dozen. They're strong, but they're also very fragile. So these are going to come upstairs with me, and I will show you my propagation area in 1 second. But back to my succulent story. So Oh, look, she's got another little tiny baby growing on the stem where some of the other, you can see where some of the other leaves, have broken off on my big mama here. Where once those callus over, new babies will grow on the stem. They're pretty incredible. So yesterday I repropagated some, I replanted some babies that I had propagated. This is just an empty stem. All the leaves were plucked off it because it wasn't doing that great. So I let them callus over, planted it, and this one should take off like crazy in the next week or so. This one is a jade that just wasn't doing that great. I bought it little with this one actually. They were 99 cents together in the same pot. I'm separating them, giving them some space. See, they're about 3 to 4 inches apart in the big pot here. This guy, I'm not even sure what kind of succulent he is. Unfortunately, I don't know what a lot of my succulents are called. I need to do more research on that, but another jade plant that needs to go in. Again, bought it 99 cents, Home Depot. You can see it's got hardly no leaves, very sad. But the few healthy leaves it had, I plucked off for propagation. This guy is this guy's pot sibling. They came to me together. I separated them. Some succulents do really well in, like you see it all the time at stores. Like they group a million different types together and sell them in these beautiful arrangements. But sometimes succulents don't like the neighbor they're paired with, and they will kill one another or whatever kills it. Who knows? So this guy down here did not like his bedfellow. This one, I tried and tried and tried to save it. I've given it time, but now we're at a place where, like, I'm worried about root rot, so I'm going to pull this guy right out, and this whole pot. I've learned over time that, like, pots with really good drainage and really good draining soil is what these guys need to stay alive. Pretty pots, doesn't matter. Like I tried, like you can see when we get over to my failed collection, I'll show you what I originally tried to do. Once I had a real hardy crop, I tried getting all decorative and pretty, like with these guys with rocks and with the pretty pots. But as you can see, there's no drainage holes on the bottom of this pot. Well, this one does have one drainage hole, I guess, which will attest to probably the only reason that this one is still alive. So this though is like one of my sad stories. So, and this real quick, this, tarantula cactus, it's fuzzy, but see its feet look like the bottom of like a tarantula's foot. These are super fragile, and, you can see here where it's, other half, like it rotted right in the ground. Like I don't know what to do. I need to do more research about this particular type of fuzzy cactus because I'm not having very good luck with propagation on these guys. But this is I call it African grass. I don't know what its real true name is, but at one point in time, I started out with a sprig of this about this big. It was like 5 sprigs. And I transplanted it into this pot with fresh soil. And over last summer, literally like 8 to 10 weeks, it took off to the point where it bushed out over this pot. Like it was huge. I had hundreds of individual sprigs. And I will tell you how I got from that wonderful success to this very sad state. Although these are all very healthy, so I'm very happy about that. But I will tell you about that in just a sec. But this guy, same thing happened. This, you can see this one little fella here that is striving to live. So we're gonna save him and get him out of here. Because this guy had 5. You can see the remainder of, oh, actually, this is still here. So this whole plant, see, you can see it's got root rot happening. And I did find some gnats in some of them, which in the soil, it's horrifying. They will rot the root, and you wind up with these little, like, fruit fly type gnats. And the larva, like, they collect on the root, and you can see little tiny worms. I've treated all these, so there should not be any in here now, but at this point, they're dead. But this was a really beautiful succulent. It had a long stem, as you can see, and it flowered twice last summer, which was crazy. So at the end of this long vine, it had these beautiful little bell flowers that popped open, and little like fruits. It was gorgeous, little red balls. Yeah, so let me bring you over to my other collection now, well, my dead collection, and I'll tell you what happened. So here are these are my babies over here that did not make it. And let me tell you, as someone who has fallen in love with succulents, this was heartbreaking. Actually, I'm not convinced that this guy is completely dead. I may be able to propagate him with some, I might be able to get some root growth out of him. So I'm actually going to bring this guy upstairs too. Sorry, I just went and put him over with my group that I'm bringing back upstairs to propagate today. So as you can see, all of these containers, there's 3 different ones in here. There were 3 in this big bowl. There was one in this glass bowl that's broken. One in that wooden bowl, which is what's in here. So that's kind of my trash pile. And I've been going through these guys over the summer. So let me tell you, so story time. So at the end of last summer, I had this huge collection. I mean, there was 1 to 2 smaller succulents, and this had a giant aloe in it. You know, like that had a big, and I'm not sure, this was my other mother plant that my friend Mercedes had given me originally, and I made tons of cuttings from this, and I'm still confused. I don't know if I should give up on this one yet or just let nature take its, run its course. Hi, Pudge. What are you doing, Pupperoon? Yep. Hi, buddy. Yeah, Mama's making a video about her plants. Yep. All right, get your puffy tail out of here. So anyway, this, this plant was so cool. It was originally kind of a greenish yellow. When Mercedes gave it to me, she gave it to me in this is a lampshade. And it drains water well, so this took right off when I first got it. I probably made 8 different plants and gave them as gifts. With this, like you can see the roots, like they get these big barky leaves, and once I put it in direct sunlight, all of those greenish yellow leaves turned pink, and then once it was shocked by the cold, they turned purple. But the cold, I had kind of thought that they would be okay, because they're desert plants, right? They go through extreme temperature changes in their natural habitat, hot to cold, like extremely hot and dry during the daytime in the desert, to bitterly cold in the summer in the desert at night. So I thought they'd be okay, which normally that is okay, so don't get freaked out. But I live in Maine, and in Maine it gets cold, but we also have frost before snow. So these guys, now my mother-in-law, not my mother-in-law, my stepmother, sorry, my dad's wife, has hen and chicks, much like my big mother plant over there, in her outside garden. She does nothing to them. They sit and thrive all summer long in a little a flower bed, and in Maine, and then during the winter they get covered over in snow, and they sit and they hibernate, and in the spring they come back just fine. And hers are probably the size of my hand, and so they're, like I said, they're super resilient. However, all winter, I had all of my babies here. Now I'm going to clean all these pots out. Some of them will not be used again. So like ones like this, as you can see, like there is algae growing on the inside. of the pots. Rookie mistake, FYI. Well draining pots is crucial. Succulents need soil. Before I kind of thought it was just a hyped up thing, like to get you to spend money on a specific blah blah blah, but I learned my lesson the hard way. I was devastated. Devastated when all of my babies died. These ones, the ones that are alive over there, a couple of them are new, the ones I showed you, but so let's see here. I mean, 1, 2, I had 2 in this plant. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. So there's just roughly 30 here that died due to my lack of education. Oh, and then my big mother plant, so 31. We're still going to just round it off at 30. So let me show you what happened. So at the end of last summer, I had a really healthy, extremely ridiculously healthy collection. Probably just over 50 total, because these guys are all still living. And these are all from my original collection, with the exception of this guy, these two, this guy. So and this guy. I had a Zanzibar that died, so I got him. I took a leaf off him before I replanted him yesterday. This is actually the pot that my original Zanzibar was in that died. So, and that guy's new. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So yeah, that's 9 plus the 30. So yeah, I mean, maybe 45, but between 45 and 50, and over half died. So, at the end of last summer, I had all of this space, all of this tar space here, and we did not have the trampoline up at that time, but, I had all of this tarred space, like literally during the daytime. All last summer, this was my workspace. I had plants lined up in the sun all summer. As it started to chill off, I moved my operation into my basement, and I turned this space over here into my succulent studio. So I used this old dead dryer, the inside for storage, like my soil bags. The top, you can see here, it's kind of my husband's tools are up here, and my kid's bow and arrow, and whatever the hell this is. This is just kind of, since I moved everything outside, this has just kind of become like a dead storage area. But in the next couple weeks, I'm going to be reclaiming this space and moving everything back in as it starts to get cold. I can tell you I wasn't even sure that I wanted to continue, because I was so devastated losing over half of my babies. But helmets, let me see here. So, this is my little transplanting station. Light to give them just a little bit of extra. The window was wonderful because they got just enough indirect sunlight to thrive all winter long. It doesn't get it's chilly because it's the basement, but I mean, there are pipes right there. So like it never became freezing in here. This is another little stand that I was using, sorry, I just got a phone call. I hope that doesn't mess up the video. But I was using here to, I was all in on my succulents, my little chair. I had, I still have a bag of soil down there, but that is not specifically succulent soil. That will be going away. I will not be using any other soil other than branded succulent soil. So, in the next couple weeks, I'm going to be getting back in here, cleaning this out, moving all of the healthy plants inside. I do need to go through I've got a few in here. Oh, bicycles, good Lord. These need to go. This needs to get cleaned back up. I'll give you guys an update. An updated video when I do move my babies all back inside and get this area set back up. I wish I knew how to edit in photos, because I would show you, maybe I can post it in the comments and pin it, a picture of what this space looked like last fall when I started moving them all inside. So now I'm going to bring you upstairs and show you my propagation. I'm going to pause the video and go grab those little babies and show you what I do. So I'm not an editing guru. I've just noticed this video is 20 minutes long. So I'm going to end this one here, and I'm going to grab these babies. I'm going to run them upstairs, and I will show you guys my propagation station / bathroom area. But here's one more shot of my healthy babies. And go ahead and look for part 2, which I will post in just another couple minutes. I'm going to keep recording, but I'm going to stop this video here so that they're not overbearingly long, which I tend to do. I need help with editing. All right, guys, so this is Rose for Trying Out Loud, and we're going to wrap it up. All right, I'll see you in the next video.